with any, right, that seems to be working, that's working, that's working. Ah, marvellous. Excellent connection. Ah, this is good. Okay. Right. Apologies from earlier. Something drastic went very wrong and my video stopped halfway through. Never mind. I've got the basic outline of the fade out ink, but I'll just run through again quickly what I did. The ink I'm using is the Ink on 3 fade out ink, which works very similarly to the ink you get when you mark up fabric for when you're sewing, and it just fades away. Now, because this surface isn't very good at taking an image, I need my piece of foam there. Right. This is the same image I stamped a moment ago. Now, what did I do with my brush pen? I had it here a moment ago. There it is. And let's see who's actually watching. With any luck, I'll get people back. Right. Okay. With any luck. I can now see who's in the chat and who's watching. Okay, as I said before, you just go in the lines gently, and what you want to do is leave a tiny piece of white space between the lines on the stamped image, and that will give you your stencil outline. And because I'm using Inktense pencils, you should be able to get a fairly good image. Don't worry about the shadows on this, because as I said, the ink will fade out and you'll end up with a fantastic image that reminds me of canal boat images. You know, those lovely painted flowers on canal boats. These are fantastic pencils as well. Really highly pigmented. So you can just, because they're ink rather than just the wax graphite. And you can just keep layering up, adding water, layer up, add water, and let it dry. I would say though that you can get to a point there where the paper is saturated with ink and it just can't take any more, and that's where you get the sort of waxy look to them. So if I just go round like this, with the orange, and put a bit of shading in the middle. Put a bit of yellow there. So the lines are fading on this one almost immediately. Because what I want to do is show you how the lines fade out when you add water, because it reacts, and it literally, you're washing it into the page and you'll end up with some fantastic effects. So it's literally just a quick and easy no line stamped image that you've hand coloured. You can get some really, really lovely effects. I want to get this sorted before my setup decides to have another tantrum at me and stop sending data. I've had some slight internet issues recently. It's made making videos rather difficult. Where's my pencil shop? There we go. Oh, you can't see through my head there. I do apologise. So if I go over with the green, which you should be able to see more clearly. I'm using darker colours than I would normally use for this sort of thing, but because the camera's quite a distance away from my desktop, I wanted to make sure you could all see it clearly. Right. Hope you can all hear me. Which is just marvellous. Right. Let's do the rose quickly. Once I've done this, around the shadows, you just want to gently push that. Oh, I'm running out of time because it's fading already. I should have put a bit more ink on that last stamp. Right. Okie dokie. Well, on this one, I'm going to use my water brush to paint, just to push that pigment around into the lines and give us a lovely little stained glass effect almost. Being very careful, you don't need a lot of water with this because what you don't want to do is flood the image and lose your definition on the leaves. So, I'm almost unable to see these lines now, so I know you definitely won't be able to see them just yet. Oops, a bit too much water there, but never mind. Hopefully, whoever else is in the chat can hear me. If you can't hear me, or if you can hear me, give us a shout and let me know, because just to be sure that it's all working as it should do. Right, okay. you know. I don't want to be flooding things. Right, let's fill that in. Working out from the centre to get the dark in. And you'll see the veining, just to make sure. I don't want to lose any of the definition around that petal. My hand's in the way, so I'm just going to turn that so that you can see how the image started to fade on that one as well. Oops. Whoops, daisy. Oh dear. Whoops, daisy. Oh dear. Just move that cut down into there. And this is just a really nice, quick and easy way of turning a stamped image into a wonderful, soft watercolour picture. Particularly if you've got a lot of cards to make, without the harsh lines of a stamp using black ink. Just helps to soften the image a little. Pop some more detail in there. Can everyone hear me? Right. That's the flower from the one I made earlier. And with any luck, those of you who managed to see the other bit, do you know what? With this, well, sorry, I go quiet sometimes when I'm working because I forget to speak. Of course, anyone walking past my garage right now is going to just think I'm talking to myself. I promise I'm not. I can't actually see the lines anymore to shade in, and I just want to get a bit more definition around that rose. So there you go. I mean, you could leave it as a pencil drawing, or you could use alcohol inks, or even go as far as using acrylics. Or you could use the fade out ink and emboss into clear on that and create resist So when the ink fades, you end up with a clear image. And you can use Versamark and embossing ink, but with this you get it's easier to work with on white paper because you can actually see what's what more easily. Now, if I hold that up to the camera, you will see that almost all of those grey lines have disappeared from view. Let's just wait a second. I really hope you saw that. Almost all of those grey lines have now vanished. There you go. And that will look fantastic as a background on a card, or even as part of a scrapbooking layout in the corner. Do a picture frame version. Now, I'm not really happy with those leaves, so if you bear with me, I just want to add a tiny bit of shading to that. This is me being a perfectionist. I just want to add a tiny bit of old olive staining. Just in the corner of those leaves. Pick out the stem. There we go. And the water helps to aid how it fades because it sits on top and vanishes as you add water, which is partly why I was having difficulty with the other image. So it was fading faster than I could fill it in. There we go. I don't want to leave that there. What I want to do with this is turn that little bit that I've done there into a bit of a card background. And a bit more water there. Right. There we go. All sorted. Ooh. Let's have a look and see what I can do with these. I'm running out of time and I've logged on that with too much water. Dab it up. And then I've got 2 viewers apparently. That's good. So if anyone's watching in the chat, feel free to say hello and ask questions. I'm happy to answer anything. Right. Think that's the leaves done on that one. Next, oh dear, running out of time on this one. as far as I know, there's only one place I found this fade out ink. I couldn't even find it in Coleman's. I had to order it in specially. A place called To Die For. It's available online, and I'll pop the link in the description box once I've found it. I know I've got it saved somewhere. Ooh, bit of a splodge there. Move that into that one. Hope you can see can't see through my hand here. Let's have a look. Start with pinker version. Bit of a shade. Now, if I was being fussy about that, this second image, what I might do is stamp over that in Versamark and then emboss with some clear just to pick up the edges of the flower, but I don't think I've really got time for that. So what I'm going to just simply do is make sure I've got the majority of the flower filled in before I go. Probably going to eat something soon. There we go. Now, if you're enjoying this video, you found it interesting, please give it a thumbs up and a share. Knowing I've helped people and provided some useful information, it always helps. It lets me know that I'm on the right track with the content I'm making. I am here, above all, I'm doing this to help people rather than just share content for its own sake. I do actually want to provide meaningful content to people with my channel that they get value from and can learn from. Maybe they can get ideas. There we go. I think I actually need a bit more yellow in that one. Oh, that one's a bit wet. Roughly add some red into there. I'll add a bit of it in the shadow for the flower. I adore this stamp. It's just so useful. I mean, if you were feeling adventurous and thought you could colour in something a bit more detailed than this, it could work, but bear in mind that you are, when using this ink, you are on a race against time, because you've got to get your image filled in before the ink fades, which is why maybe doing a light water soluble pencil outline just to get a brief a general idea of where you want your shading to be is a good idea, because then you don't have to worry so much about the ink fading as you fill in other areas of the image. Right. There we go. I think there we go. I might add a bit to that. That's holding the petal in. I want to pick it out now. So that should just about cover it. That grey line has now almost completely disappeared, and I'm left with some really pretty flowers. Now, how wide do you suppose that is? Let's give it a bit of a measure. Stack that back up there. Ow. No, that's not it. I'll go 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. Then 3.5 again. And then I can use that on a 4x4 card with the sentiment. Do the same with that one. 3.5. Ooh. Like 3.5. Enough ink to mat it on some orange, and then some sentiment. There we go. And let's see. What shall we do? I think where's my stamp? What I'm going to do is peel that off and just turn it into a quick and easy little card that I can just pop in an envelope to somebody. Yeah. What I'll do think I'll line that up under the leaves. Then, what shall I do with that? Because I've stamped that in black. Is that big enough? Not quite big enough. Bear with me. No, I've got some orange here. There we go. Glue. Right. Put some glue on here. Trying not to get it all over the place. Which would be good because I always make a mess with this acrylic glue. Always make a mess with this stuff. But be careful around the edges with this because it will squodge out the sides and make a horrible sticky mess everywhere. I know it dries clear, but you do also end up with shiny patches on the paper. Nice straight edge there. Okay. Then, because I've got some card blanks, matching this, I lined that up with that. That up with that. There we go. Pop that on the side. And what do I want? A card blank. I do apologise. These are gorgeous little 4x4 cards that I got from the range, and they are just the sweetest little cards. I love them. Not easy to get small cards. There we go. I just cover that. And I've got my finger in the glue. There we go. Now, quick and simple image, the card, and you wouldn't know that that was a stamped image because all the lines that you stamped earlier have all faded away and you're left with a gorgeous little watercolour picture plus sentiment to send off to your gran or your mum. You can make wonderful Mother's Day cards as well, because they're lovely and soft. Well, like I said, if you have enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to me, please do, and hit the bell so you're notified of other videos. If there's something specific you'd like me to demonstrate, please feel free to drop me a message. I'm happy to demonstrate new things. I will say that I haven't been paid to promote the Ink on 3 at all. It's just something I found in an idea I found in a magazine that I wanted to try out, and I really love the effects, and I just wanted everyone else to know about it, because it's not something that everyone might have heard about. So in the next day or so, I should be getting my Stampin' Up! Starter kit through, so I've got lots of goodies to show you tomorrow. Shiny things, yeah, because basically it turns out that my creative muse happens to be a hyperactive magpie, and I can't resist anything shiny, so there will be a lot of shiny things. Makes me sound like Gollum. Oh dear. Anyway, have a nice evening, and I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. Where's my mouse? Okie dokie. End stream.